started having symptoms in about 2018, the end of 2018. I started falling a lot, having a lack of coordination, and just would drop things a lot and shake really badly. And my husband he didn't understand it, so he would be like, "Why are you shaking?" We'd be at a doctor's office and there would be like 90-year-old ladies, and he goes, "She's not even shaking as much as you." And I was like, "I don't know, I don't know what's wrong with me. We got to find out." So they diagnosed me with Parkinson's first, and it took, and that's usual because I think I told you there's only it's so rare. There's only 4 people out of 100,000 in the U.S. that are diagnosed with this disorder. So I just happen to be one of those that drew an unlucky card. But so it took 2.5 years. I finally got sent to a movement disorder specialist, and he's in neuroscience. So he knew right away when he saw me, you don't have Parkinson's, you have MSA. And I didn't know anything about MSA, of course, because it's rare. And my husband now, this appointment was out of town, so we had stayed at a little cabin the night before, and he stayed there during my appointment because since COVID, you can only have one person go with you to appointments. And I had my stepmom go with me because she's a nurse, and so I called him because we were there for 4 hours. This is my first appointment. We were there for 4 hours. And I told him, it's not Parkinson's. And I'm sorry it's taken so long. I've still got to go and have some lab work done and get some prescription. And he said, "Well, what is it?" And I said, "It's MSA." And before I could get from the doctor's office to the cabin, he had already read about it. And he came running out to the car, and he was just frantic, pale as a ghost. His hair was just frazzled, and he just was standing there, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "What do you mean, what's wrong?" And I said, "What's wrong? I'm sorry it took so long, they had so much to do with this first visit." And he says, "You only have 5 to 7 years to live." And I said, "Do what?" And he just fell to the ground in tears and crying. And my stepmom had to go and pick him up and say, "Hey, they have clinical studies, things like that. We may be able to find a cure before then." Of course, then I could walk, but now I can't. So I've progressed a lot since I was first diagnosed. Vastly, rarely, rapidly.
And for those of us who don't know, and this includes myself, what is MSA and what are some of the conditions, just so we fully understand how how life is for you now that you are one of those people who have this condition?
MSA is multi-system atrophy. It is a neurological disorder, so it starts in your brain, and it affects your body's involuntary, like your autonomic systems, your breathing, your circulation, your circulatory system, your bladder function, your motor control, your speaking. Mine started out, like Parkinson's, like most of them were diagnosed with like symptoms, with the slow movements and the rigid muscle and poor balance. And treatment includes, just medication and lifestyle changes to help manage, but there's no cure, and this condition eventually ends in death.